Okay, Assalamualaikum. Hope the rest can join later. Okay, and this is a part of the advantages of having FB Live. The live class is going on, uh, and you can join anytime, without having me to accept one by one. As long as you can view the FB and you can repeat it when you need it later on, if you miss our live. Okay, example like Ika kan, or it's already 1 or 2 time she mentioned about having a job. Waalaikumsalam. Okay, thank you Bella for joining me here. Okay, and of course I do appreciate your response by typing on the comment session there, so that I would know you are participating actively in our class. I hope it's going to help me deliver the content and try to answer whether you have any question, and if you respond, it's easy for me to give feedbacks and try to react to your response, to your comment. Okay, we are here for chapter 2. In chapter 2, the topic is about independence. Okay, just to recap what we have learned in the previous chapter, when we start with the early nation, we would like to know where our country come from, and how is it last time, and then we can see the development of our nation when the Malay kingdom start to grow, especially from Malacca and spread throughout the peninsula. And due to several factors that really attract the imperialism idea from the Western, especially Europe, they came here and colonized us. 3 big countries, including Portuguese, Dutch, and British. And after that, and even the Asian country, which is Japan and China, tried to conquer us, and it succeed with Japan but fail with the communist idea from China. And due to that, we are here striving for our independence. Why we fight for independence? Because after Japan had to retreat to their own country due to their fight with the war against US, and the history saying that Japan start to attack Pearl Harbor, and we have a story on that. You can watch the movie. When they try to show the Asian power during that time, maybe a bit on greediness and a bit of showing off, so they try and to attack US, even though at first the war, the attack is on the military purpose, tujuan dia menyerang tu nak tunjuk kuasa, dan dia menyerang tadi tu pada kamp tentera. Welcome Tira. Waalaikumsalam. And but what respond by US, and because of sudden and surprise, so they attack back Japan by sending a bomb. Semua orang tahu, dia hantar balik serangan dengan lepaskan bom di bandar Jepun, compare to Japan attack the military camp, and US reply with 2 bomb on the cities, which is Nagasaki dan Hiroshima. And due to that, Japan need to retreat to their country and leave our nation. continue from that, looking at the situation, um, British would like to continue the conquering. British nak teruskan niat dia yang sebelum ni, nak satukan tanah Melayu ni di bawah pemerintahan dia, maka diwujudkan satu idea, and maybe they have time to think about what kind of strategy to be apply after they win against Japanese. So they build up a concept of a nation. This nation called Malayan Union. Dan semua pernah dengar. Cuma sekarang nak ulang balik. Dalam sejarah kita yang kementerian minta wajibkan sekali lagi kepada diploma level. Okey, Malayan Union, sebuah negara baru yang berada di bawah pentadbiran British. Okey, what happened when this idea being applied and imply to us one against, and kita pun dah dapat satu harapan daripada Jepun yang mana kita rasa okay, there are some weaknesses too, even though Europe power are really strong, masih lagi nampak kelemahan, malah mungkin kelemahan tu lagi ketara sebab Jepun hanya dapat kuasai tanah Melayu, mengalahkan British in a very short period. So this give some spirit, or maybe give some full-hearted emotion to chase away the colonized tadi. Nak husir nak halau kita punya penjajah ni. Sorry, this is again okay. And then what happened, we build up a support from the citizen, including the king, kan? Bermula dengan mendapat sokongan rakyat untuk bangkit dan menentang idea Melayu Union. Cuma kebangkitan rakyat sahaja belum mencukupi. Rakyat perlu bangkit bersama dengan raja, because we can see that the raja or the king itself, the royal family, they have strong influence towards helping us, and the togetherness of raja and rakyat during that time really works and give better impact compared to just the citizen works alone, kan? So kita bangkit dan kita cuba tunjukkan sesungguhnya negara kita ni perlu ditadbir oleh bangsa sendiri. Yang tu yang termaktub dalam konsep pula bangsa negara, negara bangsa. Okey, bangsa yang mentadbir negara sendiri, negara yang ditadbir oleh bangsa sendiri. Okey, alright. And then because of that nationalism spirit that we have among the citizen, we gain the independent through negotiation. Kita berjayalah untuk membentuk Federation Malaya masa tu, iaitu Persekutuan Tanah Melayu, dan melalui perundingan. Alright, kita tengok apa yang ada. Okay, sorry try to change pula dia punya. Okay, next. Okay, how to gain the independent? This is the Federation of Malaya. Okay, macam mana nak pastikan supaya termaktub dan wujudnya negara baru yang merdeka? Kita memerlukan new constitution. Every state or nation, country that need to be recognized by others, we have to build a constitution, perlembagaan. Kalau kita ingat balik dalam negara Islam Madinah, Nabi SAW pun ketika membina negara Madinah ketika itu sehingga menjadi satu tamadun Islam yang hebat, bermula daripada perlembagaan. Cuma di Madinah kita panggil piagam, piagam Madinah. Okay, so to be recognized, every country normally would consider to have a constitution, because constitution who guides the country, so the country can be known by others, and especially when we negotiate with British and the Europe, we asking independent, so um, at the end they accept um, our ideas and suggestion. They come with this solution, a new constitution. Okay, so dalam membina perlembagaan kita perlu ada proposal. Apa tu? Proposal, cadangan. Apakah benda yang perlu ada dalam perlembagaan? Because this is going to be the highest law that guides the country. The country mean the citizen and everything inside it. Okay, so we build up an written proposal to be submit the report. Kita pun tulislah dan kita berilah banyak cadangan. Cadangan-cadangan yang ada tu boleh refer dalam buku nanti, dan saya pun nak bincang semula lah bila yang kita nak jumpa dekat college. If you are free this coming Saturday, you can set the time. I'll be there. Okay. Sabtu lah, saya cadangan Sabtu, senang. Okay. So if you have the book, so you can refer to the book. A lot of proposal, banyak cadangan yang ditulis. Dan kita juga minta cadangan daripada yang lain. Okay. Alright. Ada juga yang against. Ada juga cadangan-cadangan yang rakyat bangkang, rakyat tentang, sebahagiannya lah. We can see that some of the idea coming from different sides of parties and is against one another, and so what kind of statement that they need to come in agreement, apakah jenis penyataan yang sebenarnya perlu kita ambil persetujuan. Okay, and then they come with a new draft. Selepas tu mereka pula yang menentang ni datangkan draft yang baru. Okay, so what kind of suggestion that they come out from their own side. So during that time, the Malaysian proposal, the Malaysian leaders who bring out these ideas, they try to negotiate with us and with the British. Okay, and a part of that, it is called People Constitution. So dalam perlembagaan, bila setengah-setengah bijak pandai melihat isi, dia perlulah berbentuk adil. Okay. Dan mungkin kadang-kadang ketika merangka perlembagaan cadangan ni, kelihatan banyak menyebelah pada British ke, atau menyebelah pada leaders ke, ataupun bangsawan semata-mata kan. So bijak pandai yang menyokong rakyat didatangkan dengan satu idea baru, draft baru dan mereka panggil ini adalah perlembagaan rakyat. Sebab ia lebih tertumpu kepada kepentingan rakyat. Okay, as what we can see right now. Alright. Okay, hopefully I can finish this one because my phone already gave a warning due to the limited space I have. Sorry for that. Okay, let's continue. What we have. Okay, those people who bring it to them, the leaders who bring to the British, they need to come together within a political parties. Syarat yang British kenakan dan letakkan kepada leaders kita, mereka kalau nakkan negara yang merdeka, mereka perlu capai dengan cara adanya party politics. So it's like copycat what the British have, and so the easiest way is to follow them. So kita pun cubalah ikut. Okay, write down one by one. Apa ni? Apakah dia UMNO, MIC, MCA, IMP, PAS dan MDU? Go and find out the long term of the acronym ni. Apa tu UMNO, apa tu MIC, apa tu MCA and seterusnya. Okay. During the negotiation, okay, this is what happened. Number one, they asked for general election. Bila dah ada political parties tadi, bila dah ada parti politik, so semua ni perlu bertanding. Siapa di antara mereka yang memenangi hati rakyat? Sama ada UMNO ke, MIC ke, MCA ke, IMP ke, PAS ke, MDU, right? And some of these term we still hear until right now. Some others have been demolished. Okay. Kita dengar lagi UMNO, kita dengar lagi MIC, MCA, dan ada juga parti baru seperti Bersatu, PKR, DAP, okay, yang membangun dan PAN keluar daripada PAS. Okay. When they win the election, they encourage to London. Maknanya pergi ke London untuk bincang dan negotiate tadi. So as we can see just now, we need to have a new constitution. So the draft is being suggest. Okay. This new commission are set up by them, by the British, so that the constitution can be recognized by British. So untuk British recognize kita punya constitution, mereka perlu setkan commission. Commission apa? Suruhanjaya. Suruhanjaya tadi yang mesti diketuai oleh golongan daripada pilihan British tu sendiri. Iaitu siapa? Yang pertama Lord Reid. Boleh highlight tu. Yang kedua Ivor. Ivor ni datang daripada UK, kan? UK dengan British lebih kurang tempat yang samalah, cuma saja guna dua perkataan ni because add up to your knowledge. And then we have William from Australia, we have Malik from India, and total of 131 memorandums submitted to British from this commission. So bila commission ni get proposal, get new draft, looking at all those ideas, suggestion from the leaders and people, so they at the end they conclude 131 memorandum to build up this constitution. Alright, continue. And at the end, luckily, thankfully, we succeed on having our own constitution called the Malayan Constitution. Berjayalah kita wujudkan Perlembagaan Malaya. Okey. Ringkasannya, perlembagaan tu panjang dan banyaklah, kan. Terutamanya kalau orang yang ambil law, kan. Siapa yang ada kat sini di IL mungkin akan belajar detail perlembagaan tu. Okey. Nak ringkaskan, akhirnya kita bersetuju due to the long discussion, we agree to have two type of leadership, two type of working together in the governance sector. So dalam pentadbiran, dalam penerajuan negara kita, kita ada dua konsep yang digabungkan. Dalam perlembagaan kita seolahnya mewajibkan negara Malaysia kena ikut dua konsep ni. Apa konsepnya? Yang termaktub kat situ lah. Constitutional monarchy and parliamentary democracy. Highlight lah ni. Jadi nak buat nota kan. So ada dua konsep yang kita guna pakai untuk menyambung, meneruskan negara Melaya, tanah Melayu ni. Dan kemudian diguna pakai juga untuk Malaysia. Kita bincang tu later on. So try to get to know what is constitutional monarchy. Melayunya ialah kita panggil raja berperlembagaan. Monarki maksudnya raja. During last time, we have this Malay Kingdom era, and we are using absolute monarchy. iaitu raja kuasa mutlak. Bermaksud apa saja yang datang daripada raja, gaya pentadbiran, kaedah kepimpinan, everything is from him alone and he has the full power. Absolute, maknanya keseluruhan kuasa ada pada raja. But we change it into another concept when we want to build up our new nation, which is raja berperlembagaan, raja yang mengikut perundangan. Lebih kurang macam itulah, raja yang berada di bawah pentadbiran negara. At the same time, we still acknowledge their status. Kita masih lagi mendaulatkan raja kita di satu tahap yang tinggi dalam negara. Okay. Alright, that's number one. Along with that, we do have another concept called parliamentary democracy, iaitu kalau kita translate Melayu pun dia ambil balik perkataan ni, demokrasi berparlimen. Apa maksud demokrasi berparlimen? Demokrasi itself mean selection. Tulis pilihan. Demokrasi itu maksudnya pilihan. So kita ada pilihan raya, berkaitan dia kan. So we are selecting during the election. Okay. What is parliamentary? Parliamentary ni we can make it simple, leadership. Siapa yang kita pilih? Kata mudah, pilihan kepimpinan. Pilih pemimpin. Maka yang terpilih ketika pilihan raya akan berada dalam parlimen, iaitu Dewan Rakyat. Dewan Kepimpinan lah. Alright? Okay, boleh tulis tu. Pilihan kepimpinan. You select the leader during election. Okay, is it clear? I hope it's clear. You can respond there. So, meaning the king Agung is above us all, below constitution, because they need to follow the law, even they are king. But under them, the management, the administration of this country is belong to the parliament. Okay, clear Good. Bermaksud pentadbiran negara kita terbahagi kepada dua konsep tadi, iaitu raja, majlisnya, majlis raja-raja, dan juga kepimpinan kita yang terpilih tadi di bawah pentadbiran kerajaan. So, nak mudah faham, kita ada Agung hari ini dan di bawah Agung ada Perdana Menteri. Yang mana Agung adalah warisan daripada kesultanan masing-masing. Pilihan di kalangan majlis raja tadi. Untuk parlimen pula, pentadbiran pula adalah hasil pilihan rakyat. So Agung you cannot, we have nothing to do with it. Kita hanya follow dia punya apa kita panggil heritage, warisan dia. Sama ada kita lepas ni digantikan dengan Agung. Agung ni bermaksud dia adalah pilihan daripada majlis raja. Maknanya yang boleh jadi agung hanyalah raja kita lah, sultan kita. Kata lain sultan lah. Sultan, raja is the same. Okay. Yang di-Pertuan pun ada juga yang guna term yang di-Pertuan. So, meaning untuk raja, mereka dah ada dia punya apa kita panggil rules, peraturan dia. Siapa akan jadi agung. So, kita sebagai rakyat hanya tengok je lah kan, perubahan kuasa setiap raja dan agung tadi. Okay. Tapi hopefully clear. Maknanya ia adalah warisan, sebab hanya yang berdarah dan berketurunan raja saja yang boleh berada di tampuk kepimpinan raja tadi. Okay. But for parliamentary democracy, it's depending on the quality that the person have. So kita ni mengamalkan dua kaedah. Bukanlah kita kata raja tu kurang kualiti. kan? Tetapi kita juga memberi laluan kepimpinan kepada rakyat biasa yang ada kualiti untuk membantu pentadbiran bersama dengan raja. Contoh macam sekarang lah, kita ada Perdana Menteri yang baru iaitu Muhyiddin Yassin. Kalau kita lihat daripada sejarahnya, dia dah melibatkan diri dalam politik dan belajar bagaimana nak mentadbir sesebuah negara tadi. Macam itulah. Okay. So, kualiti yang ada pada kepimpinan orang biasa boleh diserapkan dalam pentadbiran negara. So, anyone can become the Prime Minister as long as you follow all the requirement lah. Macam tu. Okay. So, as us, the normal citizen, we are bound to go for the election day. Dan kita ada banyak sebenarnya hari ini. Paling baru malam ni pun berita tadi menceritakan tentang ada kekosongan di PRK Slim katanya, di Perak terolak. Slim River kot. Yes. Okay. Dan calon daripada Barisan Nasional tu, saya tengok daripada siang tadi dia duk post dalam grup FB saya. Macam kenal, rupa-rupanya confirm lah one of my senior because he studied in UIA and for sure he and me used to meet up and used to talk last time. Maknanya kita masa dekat kampus tu, senior dan junior ni, kita ni kan, saya pernah bersembang dengan dia lah kalau dia menang. Okay, so dia jadilah YB kan. Adalah juga 2-3 orang lain yang member jadi YB juga, but this is the among the closest one lah with me during my campus time. Okay. Alright, continue from that. Any question? Ada soalan? Okay, kalau tak ada, kita tengok apa lagi yang penting sebenarnya dalam kita punya perlembagaan ialah citizenship, iaitu kewarganegaraan. We are really serious on citizenship because last time it should be the race of our country is Malay. The citizen that should be living together only Malay. But during the colonized area, British import the Indian and the Chinese to be here in our country to do certain job. Okay, this is for a certain reason. Contohnya, British ketika dia menjajah kita, of course kita marah dengan penjajahan. Maka kita boycott apa sahaja yang British buat. So, ketika itu British tiada pilihan lain melainkan mencari tenaga kerja daripada luar. Terutamanya daripada dua negara yang memang ramai rakyat sehingga melimpah ni, China dan India. Dan mereka buatlah deal dengan kerajaan keduanya untuk dapatkan tenaga kerja buruh. So, daripada Chinese, dia letakkan di Lombong untuk buat kerja perlombongan, manakala India dia letak di ladang untuk buat kerja perladangan. Okay. And then what happened during this idea of independent, suddenly they rise this matter, kan? So what happened when this matter rise? Dia kata siapa-siapa saja boleh jadi warga negara. So kita letakkan syarat. Mana boleh semua, kan? Kita nak kena beri keistimewaan kepada rakyat kita sendiri, kan? So we straighten a bit on the term and condition to become citizen of this nation. So antara perkara yang penting ketika itu dalam perlembagaan ialah bagaimana nak mengiktiraf seseorang itu sebagai warga negara. Contohnya nanti kita belajar juga. Cuma sekadar nak bagi brief idea, siapa yang lahir dekat tanah Melayu, siapa yang mungkin dah duduk lama, siapa yang boleh bertutur dan sebagainya. Okay. And then we continue on the language part. Sebahagian daripada perkara penting juga iaitu mestilah menggunakan bahasa rasminya bahasa Melayu. So that is why every citizen need to know how to use Malay language. Ada pro and cons. Satu, dia adalah bahasa kita. mudah untuk kita berkomunikasi dengan orang lain. Cuma kelemahannya, kita boleh berkomunikasi dengan bahasa kita je. Manakala mereka yang lain ada banyak bahasa yang dikuasai. Yang sangat menghairankan kadang-kadang, the negative side is because we are too emphasized on our language. If our language have been used throughout the world, so that's really an advantage. But we know that we need to have the other second language include in our living style. So that is why nowadays we are emphasizing on the English part. So add up to your vocab. So kalau kata siapa-siapa yang mungkin susah nak faham, tolong inform saya supaya saya boleh translate. As long as you understand, at the same time you try to make effort to learn the language. Dan kita nampak kalau orang India ke orang Cina, dia ada 3 bahasa sekurangnya. Dia memang boleh bertutur bahasa Melayu dengan kita, dia cakap juga dalam bahasa Inggeris, dan of course bahasa dia, ibunda dia. Alright? Okay. Next, we put another part that really make up our constitution. And no one can change this when the religion of our country is Islam. Kita letakkan terus agama negara Melayu kita ni mesti Islam. So no one can question. So sebab tu hari ni, if there are people who say that the non-Muslim or the other race try to play with this issue, it's actually a provocation. Mustahil rakyat negara kita yang berlainan bangsa ni, China dan India, mereka mempertikaikan agama. Kalau ada pun mungkin 1-2 yang mungkin try to loosen up, because they might be fight for freedom. But to change, it's impossible. It's already stated in our constitution. Susah nak ubah perlembagaan ni. Bukan senang. Kita nak tukar. Ada orang kata nanti Melayu ni tunduk sangat dengan Cina ke India, satu hari nanti raja pun bukan Melayu. Tapi mustahil. You cakap tu seolah macam you mengeluarkan kata-kata yang menunjukkan kejahilan. Kata kasar dia kebodohan. Mana boleh. Sebab tu kita ajar banyak kali Malaysian study. It's hard to change that. Siapa yang boleh tiba-tiba jadi agung? Mana boleh. Agung adalah warisan. Dan kita tengok dah dalam semua peraturan, nak jadi raja sebelum jadi agung mestilah datang daripada keturunan Melayu. Bukan senang nak ubah, right? Okay, selection dia pun ada dia punya step dia, pertabalan dan sebagainya. Bukan senang-senang tiba-tiba contohlah ada orang kata nanti Lee Kin Siang jadi agung lah, Lim Guan Eng ni agung lah, siapa-siapa lah, ataupun Ramasamy ke Raja Mutu ke mustahil, right? Okay. Sama juga macam kes agama Islam. Kita lah sebenarnya yang menentukan pentadbiran dan perlembagaan lebih mengutamakan agama. Sebab kita yang menguasai, right? Okay. Is there any slide more? Yes. That's it. Sikit je untuk chapter independent ni. Agak-agak dah pukul apa dah? Okay. We just cover half an hour today. I hope it's enough. Because it's very short one. Pendek saja hari ni chapter 2. You can go details lah if you want. If you have any question, I open. Ada soalan? Anyone? Okay, before we end, I will talk about this new task. I hope the first task, which is the discussion on our topic, the whole chapter about Malaysian study have been submitted there. Dan saya nampak tadi lah, dan saya dah bagi respon pun siapa-siapa yang dah submit. And then second task, notes kita untuk Malay Kingdom, and what do you get from our class, and what can you respond. Okay, bila you buat notes, it's also accepted, it's best for you to include your comment. And because this is a part of what we want to see from our generation. You are answering the question, at the same time you put together with that answer is your own ideas, kan? Bila jawab soalan, kita suka nak lihat komen ataupun reaksi daripada soalan yang kita berikan. We give extra mark for that, and especially during interview later on, maybe when you explaining inside the class, you have a lot of ideas because you already practice from now, hopefully lah. Okay. And thank you for the submission, and for those who still yet to submit, masih on the way, ongoing process tu, please do so. Alright. Okay, for our task today. Number 1, I need you to create a short, simple slogan that relate with independent. So, tolong buat slogan. Kebetulan we are in the month of independent. So, I want you to make a slogan. What do you feel? How is independent to you? Kan? Macam tu. Okay? Nak tengok contoh, saya ingat dalam kita punya FB group ni ada contoh. Okay. Extra instruction, you need to include your slogan into a poster. Kena buat poster. Okay. First, buat slogan dulu. Kalau boleh, your own idea, macam saya sebut tadi. You can copycat. You can get somewhere else some of the idea, and even you can go through our FB group. You can found some of the submission of previous student. Boleh tengok macam mana student lepas submit. Okay, boleh dapatkan gambaran. But I really hope that you include your own idea. Kalau boleh janganlah pendek sangat, kan? Tapi let's say kalau panjang, buatlah 2 poster. Okay, ataupun be kreatif, kan? So that you can show your nationalism towards your country, kan? Apa pandangan kita, apa perasaan kita, apa keterujaan kita terhadap kemerdekaan negara kita. So during your submission nanti bolehlah buat hashtag merdeka, hashtag independent, kan? So at least we can separate the news to others within our media social, kan? Yang termampu lah, kan? Ada orang buka tengok, okey lah, kan? Sekurang-kurangnya within our college, kan? Alright. Post in Neo. Okay, post dekat dalam FB group. Post kat dalam FB group. Dekat Neo boleh tak post? Nanti saya buka dia punya new tab kat situ, kan, dekat dalam forum tu. Cuma saya nak juga dipostkan dalam FB kita ni. So that at least we have several backup. Okay, why we backup? Mungkin saya pernah explain dulu. Last time we are using another portal in this online learning. Even ODL, ODL yang lama dulu, kan, bila kita bermula dulu, saya ingat dalam 2 SEM kita menggunakan open learning portal, portal daripada open learning. Tapi kemudiannya kita tukar kepada Neo, Neo portal pula. So what happens is that at least if we save it in our FB, it's going to be there, because what we save in open learning portal is gone. Sebab kita dah, kan, kita dah tamatkan kontrak tu, ataupun kita dah tukar, kan. So apa saja yang kita save kat situ dah tak ada lah. Apa yang saja yang student hantar assignment dah gone totally. Kalau kita nak, kita kena bayar untuk dapatkan, kan. So kebetulan saya dah buat FB group kan, several FB group kan. Sebab tu you guys ada masuk ECE IIC dan ada masuk IIC sahaja. So saya differentiate between focus on ECE only and the broader group yang lebih umum lagi, IIC. Okey. Cuma saya tak buat banyak lah, kalau tak dia akan jadi banyak sangat group nanti. So saya combine dulu 3 group. Maybe we can get to know each other, and at least you know there are a lot of seniors before this in our IIC kan, including ECE juga. So luckily I save it, even though during that time we save in the open learning portal, I do save it in FB and fortunately beruntungnya sebab FB masih ada sampai sekarang, and jarang lah ataupun seolah macam mustahil lah FB nak tutup kan, because the audience is there and the people is there using FB kan, and Mark Zuckerberg memang kaya disebabkan FB dia lah. And even sometimes they remind us what happened in past years or 2 years or even 10 years ago, still coming out in our news kan. So seolah-olah macam much better using FB. At least we are saving in 2 part lah. So bila panel datang nak check ke apa kan, because we used to be assessed by the panel kan, because you guys need the approval MQA for your certificate. So MQA ni nak iktiraf kita punya sijil, dia kena check pembelajaran kita. Adakah berlaku pembelajaran? Dan kalau berlaku, apa dia, macam mana? Adakah mencapai status standard yang MQA tetapkan? So with all this record, they can look at it and normally they be happy lah. Kalau dia ada rasa kekurangan yang 1-2 tanpa menjejaskan the whole program standard. So macam case ODL, kita dah dapat approval, especially for ECE. Untuk yang lain macam DIL ataupun DMS, DBA, bergantung pada program masing-masing. Okay? Alright, so I hope it's clear that after this, for those who still haven't submit, keep continue doing that. We have more time today because I'm just giving a very short note on independent. Memang dia sikit je, but the task I need you to focus more, giving your full passion, because we are now here in the month of independent. So apakah perasaan kemerdekaan pada rakyat Malaysia sebagai seorang student kan? So we can see differences between one to another. Apakah sebenarnya rasa kebebasan ke, ataupun rasa keamanan ke, ataupun boleh letakkan juga harapan. So if you want to write more, and you can have several pictures, several poster. Carilah gambar-gambar yang selfie sendiri tu kan, self yang menarik tu, dan boleh bagi contoh dalam poster tu. Then I believe that you guys are full of pictures in your handphone. So use it for the goodness. So I think time for you to do your task. Is there any other question before we end? Okay, maybe that's it for today. Thank you so much for your attention, and complete your task. If you're finished, you can submit and alert me with that. Normally the FB will alert too, and I will check into the portal later on. Okay, thank you so much. Bye. Assalamualaikum.